Hello and welcome to Starving Artist Courses, your all-in-one online music education resource. My name is Christian and this is your very first acoustic guitar lesson. I actually started playing guitar in 6th grade at my local church and I've been playing there ever since. I love music. I went to school for it a little bit. I pursue other things, but I still play today. I'm working with you guys now and I'm super excited, so let's go ahead and dive into it. This right here is a Fender acoustic guitar. For those who have never played a guitar before, I'm going to go ahead and just break down everything on the guitar just from the top. This is the headstock of the Fender acoustic guitar. It's where you have all your tuning pegs and where the strings are attached here and go down all the way to your bridge. Your strings go down from E, A, D, G, B, and then E. Tuning pegs are one of the most important parts because you can never play your guitar out of tune. Make sure you always stay in tune, and if you want to tune it, all you gotta do is turn these pegs to the left or to the right. Going down, we got the neck of the guitar. And on top of that, the fretboard. Different kind of guitars have different kind of fretboards. I believe this one's rosewood. They can also come in maple. They can also have a gloss on the back right here, as you can see. This is also the body of the guitar, and it's a hollow because it's an acoustic guitar. It's got a lot of space in this hole right here. This is a beautiful guitar. It has its own tuner and equalizer on here. And then your pick guard. You also have a jack if you want to plug it into an amp, which is right here, usually next to the strap. And then you have a peg here for your strap as well. For the most part, acoustic guitars are really not that complicated. As you get to the electric guitars, they can have different kind of features on them. But for the most part, this is just your acoustic guitar. Now from there, we're going to get into tuning. So again, like I said, tuning is one of the most important parts in playing. You can never play your guitar out of tune. Right here at the top, we're going to focus on these top 3 strings. Your E again, your A string, and then your D string. Your lowest parts of the guitar. When I want to tune my E, A, or D string, if I want to go higher because my pitch is flat, I'm going to turn it to the left to make it a little higher. And of course, you always want to make sure you have a tuner. This guitar actually has a tuner built into it. If you don't have a guitar that has a tuner built into it, you can actually go to a guitar center or your local music store and you can buy a tuner that you attach right here on your headstock. It'll tell you exactly the frequency of your pitch to make sure you're always staying in tune. Now for this, I got my tuner on. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to make it flat, which means your pitch is lower than what it's supposed to be. If it's higher than what it's supposed to be, that means you're sharp. So right now, my E string is flat. If I want to tune it, I'm going to turn it to the left because it's on the top. From here, turn it left, a little bit more. Now, as you can see, it says it's green, means we're good. From there, once you pass these 3 strings, you're gonna go down to these pegs right here. Now these, again, I'm gonna repeat them for you, are your G strings, your B, and your E. I plugged the wrong string there. For your E string, your high E string, make sure you know the difference between those two. The high E string is always gonna be the silver thin one, and your low E string is always gonna be the thicker string up at the top. When you wanna tune these bottom 3, it's actually the opposite. Up top, if you wanna go higher, you turn left. Down here, if you wanna go lower, you turn left. So, same thing, I'm gonna make my high E string flat. Very similar to how we did it here. My high E string's flat, I want to get it up to perfect pitch. I'm going to go ahead and raise it. I'm going to turn it to the right this time because it's on the bottom side. Now I'm in perfect pitch. You see the green? Make sure you always do that to all of your strings before you play. And even sometimes during when you play, make sure you always stay in tune. Eventually while you play and the more that you practice, you'll realize when your strings are out of tune and you can take care of it right away. All right, next up, we're gonna go into the guitar pick. Guitar picks can come in various different sizes, like this one right here. This is a little bit thicker versus right here. This is a Jim Dunlop. It's a little bit thinner, a little bit more flexible versus this one isn't so bendy. It all depends on your preference and what you feel. For me, I gotta change them out. Sometimes I like the harder one depending on what I'm playing, and other times I like the softer one, you know? It all depends on my mood. But for the most part, I usually stick to the thick ones. Now, biggest thing with your pick is how you hold your pick. Some people like to hold their pick with 2 fingers on the top, their thumb over it. You have your forearm on your guitar, and they pick like this. Just left, alternate one. Some people, it's comfortable for them. Me personally, I like to have my thumb on top, and I like to rest it on the side of my index finger. I put it on top of my index finger like that, put my thumb on top, and I keep it like this, so that when I'm alternate picking, I'm going like this. It's all motion in my wrist, and I'm not using my fingers too much when I'm holding it like this. Your wrist kind of collapse. I prefer to hold it like this. It's all one motion, especially if you're strumming, very smooth. Now, the biggest thing with alternate picking is you have to practice with a metronome. You always want to make sure you're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's repetitive, but it's super important for your form, especially in how you hold your guitar. I actually kind of skipped that. I'm going to go into it right now. You want to make sure with your left hand that you have your thumb on the back of the neck. A lot of times you may even see guitar players that have their thumbs over here, like John Mayer, Jimi Hendrix. Those guys have all dominated this kind of style where they play these major chords with their thumb playing the top root. We want to stay away from that for now. We want to really get those fundamentals down. I want your thumb right on the back of the neck, and I want it relaxed. I don't want it tense. And then every time you want to press down on the string, I want it on the very top of your fingers. Very clean notes, no buzzes. Press down, maintain good form. And then practice. You can always put your guitar on your lap, bring your hand down, then bring it up. Bring it down, then bring it up. Down, and then back up. It might be tedious, but that's the way to go. Now, we want to put this into practice. Let's go into the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is pretty much all the notes that are possible in the music scale. For us, we're going to start at the top of the neck, and we're going to keep things very simple. If I were to just go through the chromatic scale while alternate picking, it would sound something similar to this. Very simple. On my right hand, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. With my left hand, I'm looking to make sure my thumb is behind the neck. My thumb isn't kind of creeping over. And I'm making sure that I'm on top of my fingernails. That's the biggest thing. When I first started to play guitar, I didn't know anything about alternate picking because I tried teaching myself. And I had to learn the hard way because I had to unlearn that. And alternate picking is extremely important because you can play more music with it correctly. I'm going to show you to play the chromatic scale just down picking, and you're going to notice the difference. Now to you, you might not have noticed the difference to your ear, but to me, I can tell that it's very choppy because I know that the guitar player is going down, 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 and not down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You want to make sure your hand is fluid to the up motion and not just the down motion, because you will have to bring your notes back up, especially as you increase, because this is very simple. And eventually you're going to get into things like rakes, different power chords, different things that you're going to have to bring that up motion up to make the sound perfect. So make sure that you practice your chromatic scale with a metronome, the most important thing. Grab a metronome. You can download it off your phone for free. You can download, I don't know how many metronomes you want. Stick to a very slow beat. I would even say 50 to 60 beats per minute. And I want you to sit there and take your time with the chromatic scale. If my foot was the beat, which I don't want you guys to do, I want you to stick to a metronome, I'm going to take it real slow. And then I'm going to do it over again, just like that. And that's all I want you guys to practice on. Getting that dexterity going, getting that synchronization between your left and your right hands, because eventually we're going to be playing songs and we're going to need that kind of strength in both of our hands to make sure that we're not hearing any buzzes or empty notes like that. And I know it's tough to practice. You guys may have different commitments. You might have school, you might have other things. We actually are offering a free PDF book called Finding Your Rhythm. It's phenomenal. Please take advantage of the resource. It's gonna help you. It's gonna make you a better musician. It's gonna help you go through the courses much easier because this right here are your fundamentals. And if you don't have a solid fundamental understanding of the guitar, it's gonna get a lot harder as we get through the lessons, all right? So make sure you guys are practicing. Take your time with that chromatic scale. If you have any questions, you guys know who to ask. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell.